everyone, it's Elizabeth with t0inky TV, and I'm here to give a recap of I Need Romance number 3. And so this is where the episode left off. It was Julian saying, ha ha ha, I got Serang, and I was able to get her guy, even though I kind of caught her at the game. Okay, maybe she didn't do that, but basically Serang was trying to befriend her as a frenemy to really get t0in back. But it kind of backfired on her because t0in instead agreed to go out with Julian. And so when Juan hears about this, he's just like, I'm so disappointed in you. I can't believe you did that. And that's gotta be like pretty hard to hear, especially from somebody younger than you. But I always think that disappointing somebody, especially you care about, it makes me feel really bad. So I think Juan is having some doubts about whether or not he really loves his Xing. Okay, I think he's still gonna love her because that's the point of this drama. But then I think Julian is not as cold-hearted and as vindictive and as mercenary as how she might have played out in the last episode. She does still now question, okay, well maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And I think that kind of gives her a little bit more real, kind of likable. Well, at least I like her better now, because at first I was like, oh, that's really uncool, Julian. You should not have done that. That was just kind of stabbing your frenemy in the back, and people shouldn't stoop that low. So Juan, because he's just so upset with Julian, he goes out for a drink by himself, and the whole time, while Juan is out having a drink by himself, Julian's like texting him, and you know, I'm sure everybody's been in that situation. Well, you shouldn't probably text too much, but I mean, he was like, at a certain point, he thought it was cute, so he came back home. And when he came back home, he was still kind of like a little bit prickly, but then he warmed up pretty quickly after, and they kind of like snuggled on the couch and got comfortable again. So, you know, he doesn't seem like he has that much resistance over his Xing or his first love. So Serang and Julian kind of have a little talk because at first they had this really great business deal that went through, and it went through really well, so they're all on a high note. And then Serang is talking to Julian, and so I think she's finally trying to be honest with Julian and asking her, you know, please don't go after my man, I'm still in love with him. And this is where Julian, when she's kind of, you know, thinking about it by herself, or maybe she's also with Juan, but she's kind of talking through and thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe. So she's going back and forth, and then that's when her date time arrives, Julian's date time arrives with t0in, and while she's like totally thinking about this and struggling with it, he calls to say that he's sick and has to cancel on their date. So he kind of plays the sick card, which made me question things. I was thinking, okay, well maybe Serang went and like kind of did the sneaky thing behind her back and was like trying to get t0in to go on a date with her and then cancel on Julian, but things kind of went a different direction. So Juan was making soup and Julian's like, oh, I think I'm gonna go get that to t0in because he's sick. Juan didn't really want to give it up, but he did in the end because he loves his Xing. And then, so t0in's eating the soup and what have you, and Julian's like there. And it's kind of an awkward moment because Serang knows the passcode still. She comes in with food too. And it just ends up a really big, awkward threesome mess. It's painful to watch. And you know, Serang is actually a really good actress because even though she plays a kind of a mean, not so nice role, you actually do feel compassion for her sometimes because there are some moments where she comes off as a very sweet, kind of likable person. So towards the end of this drama, you get t0in and Julian together again, just like talking it out. And he just, this just kind of was so awful. He proposes to date Julian as a trial, as trying. I mean, it was so horrible. He's like, I don't have any flowers, I don't have a ring, I have nothing to give you. I don't even know, I can't even say that I love you at this point. I don't even know, you know, he's just saying all the things that most women would just probably run away from. And he's like, but I'd really like to try and date you, which is almost like a non-attempt because you either are going to date somebody, I mean, you don't try and eat like dessert, you either eat the dessert or you don't. So for him to say, I'm gonna try to date you, that was so like, oh, whatever, buddy. But Juyeon, being the hard lobster shell robot herself that she is, she actually agrees to it. She's like, well, you know, all the other dating things didn't happen and it wasn't successful so maybe this is a lot more realistic because he's not really just being flowery speeches and, you know, pretending, or not pretending, but just well, gosh, I can't even explain it. She just, in her mind, agrees to do this, which is not a good idea. I really think she should rethink her agreement to go on a date with, or to date him. So while all of this really ridiculous, I'm going to try and date you thing happening with Taeyoon and Juyeon, you see Juan at the, I think, flower shop, and he's buying flowers for Juyeon because he has said he loves her, he has kissed her, he does totally want to be with her, and yeah, that's just like, you know, Juyeon just keeps kind of running into the wall because she just doesn't know what's there. And I think that it happens with a lot of people because a lot of people don't know what's good for them or what's happening, and so it's kind of a painful process, this whole dating thing. And so, yeah, speaking of dating things, did you guys have a good Valentine's Day, or did you guys have a good Singles Awareness Day? Anyways, that was yesterday. So I hope I get this video up and running in the next couple of days, and I will see you soon. Hope you like this video drama review, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.